Let's go this way. Okay. Hello, welcome everyone. I'm double broadcasting with Facebook because I wanted to record and just really work out all of my thoughts and feelings, and I figured today would just be a good day to start as any to just look back on how far I've come on my journey and where I'm at now and just where I'm aiming to next for next year. So I'm just working out some feelings, and because I'm doing it live on YouTube and on Facebook, because number one, Facebook for my personal page, but number two, being that you're my family and I want you to be just as much a part of my journey as I am just as much a part of your journey. So where to start? Let's start at the beginning. So let's see. Well, since I was young, I used to live on with my biological mother, and there was my father at one point in time and my adopted parents. For me personally, I looking back at that point, and then basically a lot of what I've noticed, like when I was with my adopted parents, I didn't understand, um, like I could do stuff that a lot of people couldn't. Um, very, um, when I was 6, gone into foster care, right? Um, hmm, bit of a delinquent. Didn't know what the hell I was getting into. um, I will be honest and say that I really didn't know what I had until I lost it. When my adopted parents decided to let go of me at the age of 14, I cried for 3 days and 3 nights. And I said the phrases, men don't cry, while thinking of my adopted dad because he never cried, right? And I know, like, now I understand basically what my biological mom and stepdad and dad, uh, what they had to go through. It was the same thing with my adopted parents, and I didn't really end the cycle until the third time around, which is when I was put back into foster care and I really started to shape up. So I used to be this really angry person. Um, I used to be capable of punching people and hurting people, partly because, which I will say that when I was with my real parents, I used to follow my twin brother into trouble a lot. I used to tell him, you're gonna get in trouble, blah blah, and then I ended up following right behind him, right, follow the leader. And I will say now, I'm not follow the leader kind of material. I'm forging my own path. I will say that there is a difference. For example, I don't really remember doing anything like as far as hitting people and stuff until I really started. It was when um with the adoptive parents. I know I used to hit on my mother a lot, and it is something that I regret. I regret trying to hurt my mother, and I'm surprised she even put up with it at all. Um, which just shows the kind of capacity she had for love, right? In a way, I changed them too, just as much as they changed themselves. And I didn't really start doing all the hitting and stuff. I think the reason why I used to hit my adopted mother was because I basically, in a way, was trying to express and try to tell her I didn't want to be there. I really didn't want to be adopted by them. I didn't, because I was still waiting for my biological mother to come back and adopt us, right? And it never came. And so in a way, I was rejecting my adopted parents because I was angry because my biological mom didn't come to rest. I was like in the beliefs. We would run away when we were still in foster care. We would run away and go back to them. I remember doing that shit. I remember us running away from the foster home that we would go into, and we would find our dad, and our stepdad. I could feel like how he wanted so much to wrap us in his arms, and tell us everything is going to be okay. And so I know that there's still a lot for me to learn. Um, I just put the intention as I'm recording it. This energy gets recorded and it's released. Um, so yeah, I feel like with all the cruel punishments and stuff that I did, that I had to endure and that I had to endure, I feel like in a way they were just retaliating and reflecting back stuff in myself. I realized that it wasn't until after the third time that the one cycle that was broken was basically, I kind of feel like I didn't understand what I had lost until the third time around. For example, my biological parent, I don't know if I had parents, but no, I had mom. My biological mom. She did have. We had a farm. We had everything, and she lost everything due to the fact that she had to fight for our sisters, and I understand why she did what she did when she said, I just was mentally, spiritually, energetic, like she was just exhausted. She didn't have the money. She was barely making ends meet, right? And a part of me has blamed her, even though I understand what she did. There was a part of me that still has felt, but it doesn't excuse how you just left us. You could have just said hi and told us, hey, I'm your real mom, but I can't be around you right now. You could have just said, I'm here, but I can't, and explain the situation, you know. And I need to say this and just say, I need to let it go. I can't expect that from her because that energy is in the past. I let it go. and I'm letting it go. I let it go. Super conscious treat that resistance and just release the energy. Um, so yeah, um, I feel like it was until the third part that I broke, like the third cycle, because again, it was like a reflection, one, two, three. I feel like in this one, where with my parents, um, problem children, right? It wasn't until I lost everything that I really shaped up and was like, okay, there needs to be a change, and I can't keep losing everything energetically on a subconscious level, right? Um, I feel as though with my biological parents, we had a beautiful farm, we had everything, right? But I ended up making them lose everything. And that is something I'd regret. And I get people are going to say, oh, it's not your fault. No, there is a partial blame to be had. If I wasn't causing problems for my mother, if I wasn't shredding the mattress, if I didn't back then smear poop on the walls, which I don't know why the hell I would do that. Didn't have any common sense. And if I didn't do that stuff, I would still be living in a beautiful home and probably had a loving and caring environment. And who knows? Um, but I didn't because I chose this path. Um, in a way, I did choose to make those choices. I consciously made those choices, and this is where I'm at now. I'm taking responsibility for what I've done. If I had a second chance to have parents, but instead I chose to be angry and but ignorant, and I can't say that, oh, if I knew about my gifts, then no. Yeah, my gifts were part of it, but that's not really, I'm not putting blame on, oh, if I didn't know my gifts then, if I didn't understand, if I understood what I was then, it would have been, I'm not going to say that. I personally feel that if I wasn't angry, if I wasn't any, like, how do I put this? If I wasn't beating up on people, if I wasn't doing all that, um, I probably would have had I would have had a second chance to start over. But now I have no mom, no dad, no siblings I mean, they're alive, but they don't want anything to do with me. Um, I have no relatives that I know of so far that want anything to do with me. And it's my own fault. For let's see. I had my part to play in this. Okay, and I feel like I'm trying my best to put this where again I ended something, but I'm trying my best to kind of put it in the right words. As if I've talked about adoption, and then that third cycle I lost everything, and I feel like basically in that third cycle, after losing everything again for the third time, well, the second time, but this is the third cycle, I realized, I had two chances. I guess in a way I hadn't realized I had two chances to start over and really build a life, but I didn't. I chose to be angry, and I feel like the anger came in the second time. In the second cycle, I added. I didn't add. I added instead of taking away. I added anger and physical violence, emotional, mental, and verbal abuse. I remember telling them, "You don't love me. I don't give a shit about you, and you don't give a shit about me. Instead, you throw me out on the cold and do all this horrible shit to me. I don't want to be adopted by you." And that's how I truly felt, and I do feel like that's how they felt. But I don't know their feelings. They don't want anything to do with me. I really don't know if they're still alive. And if I ever get the chance to talk to them, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say, but I'm not gonna say this is what they're gonna say, but I'm pretty sure they might still feel hatred towards me. Hello, Joe Aries. I'm just recording everything that I've been through and, looking back at the cycles of everything and where I'm at now. I just feel like as a YouTuber, blogger, I feel like as my subscribers, y'all are a part of my family. You're in a way, and you guys are part of my journey, and I like to share the deep moments, the intricate moments, because I want you to know me on a very deep level. As much as I do readings and energy work and videos for you guys about plants and crystals and such, just as much as I'm a part of your journey, I feel like I should just give as much back to you about my journey. So yeah, I like the word beautiful. When I don't know if you're thinking beautiful or said beautiful out loud, but so yeah, where should I start? So I noticed like in the second cycle when I went with my adopted parents, I added anger, hate, physical, emotional, mental, and verbal abuse, right? Um, I feel as though that in the first cycle, I was following my brother into trouble, and I was being punished for it properly until DCF came along and basically threw a wrench in, and my mom lost everything. I feel like my mom does blame me and my brother, not really so much my sister and my two older sisters, because I think in a way my mom controls them through religion and other means. And so because she can control them, she doesn't really blame them as much as she does me and my brother. Which is understandable because in a way I don't really feel like compelled to be the norm. I don't let the normal part of just like the normal. I say any, like, for example, um, I feel as though what you all are used to, I don't follow. I really don't. That's not how my brain is. That's not how my heart is. Don't mean my physical heart or my emotional heart. I go against the norm. Um, I feel that in a way, she blames us. And I feel like with that energy being projected, it projected on to me. It was imprinted on me energetically. And I know that back then I used to blame it on everything I could think of, even my gifts. Until like right now, I'm like, no, it's my fault. So I'm ending that cycle. I'm choosing to end the cycle of putting the blame on anything else but myself. I have my part to play. If I'm in the picture, I have a part. I have a part to play. You know, so I'm choosing to end that cycle. Um, with that being said, um, I feel as though that um, the fact that I lost everything, that my mom lost everything, and that I lost that opportunity, then you think about how I was given a second opportunity to start over, start fresh, but I lost that opportunity. I lost everything, even lost the ability to contact my brother at the age of 14. This is where the third cycle really starts, you know. So yeah, I feel as though that those left impressions, and that's why couldn't, not that I can't, or I can, but I put a limitation, a block that stopped me from not stopped me, limited me from creating the financial abundance that I, as a person, could have achieved. And with that, I let go of that energy. Just as much as I can lose everything, I have just as much the ability to create anything and achieve it. Desire anything that I want, need, or desire. I have the ability to just as much as lose that, as much as I can create it, recreate it, attract it, magnetize it. You know, I have the ability to just do on both sides of the spectrum. Um, and now it's something that my brain I can feel it energetically. Superconscious help me process this. Yes, I can. It's more like there's a resistance energy here. Yes, I can. I know that I'm used to losing everything, but just as much as I can lose, I can magnetize, draw in what I wish to create. Energy never dies, it merely can be changed. So I can change the energy from loss to gain. So just as much as I can lose everything, I can gain anything and everything. I can gain anything just as much as I used to be able to lose anything and everything. Now I know that I have the ability to do just as much as that, as I can gain anything and everything that I want, need, or desire. I can gain anything that I need, want, and desire, and attract it, magnetize it, manifest it, materialize it into my life. You know, I can gain that. And I'm putting that. I can gain anything and everything. So I feel like with me losing everything, I had to come to a point where it's like I had to learn how to lose in order to gain anything and everything, and that's where the beauty is. Technically, that those experiences weren't bad because I had to learn how to lose anything and everything in order to learn how to gain anything and everything that I've ever needed, wanted, and desired. This is the moment where I'm like, it's clicking, right? And now that I've understood how to lose, I can gain and truly appreciate and be grateful for what I've gained over the years. Um, I feel as though with me losing, when I lost everything, that third point in the third cycle, I understood, and a part of me, I became a robot, right? But I was hiding all the pain and the suffering and the emotions and stuff for a very, very, very long, long, long time. And I've let it bottled up for so long. I did a meditation, it was so beautiful. And I call it the fractal of Fenrir because it's a wolf inside of me, energetically speaking. And not only did I already had it, but I also needed to understand how it worked, how to not control it, not to tame it, but to let it flow freely in such a way that it doesn't disrupt my life in any way, shape, or form. Um, Basically, not be used against me, but for me, right? In the time that I was adopted and while I was in foster care and my adopted parents, I feel like that fractal kept coming back to me. And I've come to a point where, and like that reflection, I let it go. I don't let the fractal go because it is just as much part of me. I just let the built up energy go. And I feel like I had to learn both how to be able to hurt people, places, and things, and I had to feel how it was to be hurt, to be in pain, to be in suffering and sorrow, sadness, fear, and hatred. I had to learn how to be in that energy, how to experience it towards myself, and how to dish it out in order to now, as a being, understand how to like truly love, heal, and be happy instead of being fearful, be joyful, instead of worrying, be excited, instead of being having anxiety, have laughter in that moment, right? And instead of hurting other people, I can heal people. And instead of having sorrow and pain, I feel vitality and serenity, tranquility, you know? So instead of feeling chaotic, I can now feel peace. I had to learn how to do one way the negative in order to gain the positive. In order to do the positive and feel the positive, feel towards people and towards me, right? So, yeah, I understand that. Let this energy integrate. I can feel that there is like that energy of resistance, but I'm understanding the polarity of why I went through all this stuff and the polarity of it, that all that negative, in order to now become the positive and feel the positive, project the positive, right? From negative to positive, right? Like a battery, like magnets, right? So yeah, um, I feel it. I feel as though, like, for example, with me losing that beautiful farm, that means I have the ability to gain twice as much in the end, right? Um, I feel like this is a beautiful lesson to learn, understanding that all the negative that we've gone through is not to just weigh us down, but to basically help us, like, from the negative, transfer from the negative, understanding that both sides are the same coin, negative in order to shoot us towards the positive, to project us towards the positive, right? We have to go through the negative in order to truly understand it, how to project it and how to receive it, and then order to then at some point in time in our journey understand that, wait a minute, it's not just all the negative, there's a positive. Now that we've understood the negative and felt the negative, predicted it and received it, now we can truly appreciate and magnetize the opposite. We can truly attract the opposite. We can truly attract the opposite, which is the positive, and gain the positive. Um, so yeah, I truly feel as though this is what that was all about. With the energy of all of this, on my third cycle in, I then became a robot. Um, I had the ability to, in a way, if someone wanted me to kill someone, I wouldn't feel emotion. I could just do it. But in reality, I couldn't really shut off the emotional part because the more I ignored it, the more louder it got, right? So, with that being said, I couldn't ignore it forever. In 2016, that's when I started toothpaste on probably some toothpaste or whatever. I'll have to wash it later. That's when I truly understood. I mean, not truly understood. Um, in 2016, I started. I had to like. I had like it all came rushing back, and I feel as though, and if you think, if for all the negative that I've emotions that I've had, I take inventory of all of those emotions of anger, hate, wrath, vengeance, revenge, malice. There's sadness, sorrow, pain, suffering, fear, worry, anxiety. All of those negative things that I felt, in a way, I had to fully immerse myself and project it and receive it in order to obtain and gain the expressions, the experiences, the thoughts, and the emotions, and truly immersing myself into love, life, vitality, strength, courage, bravery, happiness, joy, tranquility, serenity, um, laughter, happiness. I think I said happiness, joy, um, peace, compassion, mercy, and understanding, and patience. Um, excuse me. and how to live. And you know what's funny is that the energy of survival was all throughout that. I kept needing to, so I had to it was in survival mode. So now that I was fully immersed in survival mode, now I know how to feel the opposite, which is to truly live, live life. Instead of surviving life, I can now truly live life. And now how to find the opposite and obtain and gain the opposite, which is to live life instead of survive life. I can thrive and live and thrive in life instead of survive life. Um, so let's see. What else am I noticing about the three? I feel like I've been through third, fourth. I'm in the fifth cycle, and I say the fifth cycle of my journey because there are cycles of like miniature cycles where you learn and grow and maybe obtain things, and So with that being said, um, let's see what else can I'm seeing. Um, Within the fifth cycle, that's when I started to really get in touch with my spiritual side. I started to awaken, um, all that good stuff, right? Um, Even then, I didn't truly like get this deep. This is like a very big, momentous occasion for myself. Um, so yeah, I yeah, I started to feel the emotions, but I kind of just like, touched my toes here and there. Um, this is like me going in deep, very deep, to like almost the bottom of the ocean, kind of deep in a way, metaphorically speaking. So, let's see. Let's see, where else am I at? Right now, I used to be able to like move from place to place, right? I would just basically lose something would happen to where I would lose that apartment or that house that I would be living in, right? Well, now I am no longer in that position. I'm in the right now in this moment. It's like in this moment, instead of me losing that, I'm able to now gain. I've learned how to like master living, like in an apartment or in a home, right? And sure, there have been some bumps on the road, but I've been in pretty good standing. At least I think so for myself. And I pay my rent in time. I pay my bills. Um, I do my food, my water, and my phone necessities and whatnots, right? Before I indulge in anything spiritual, anything like crystals and stuff for my craft, right? So, with that being said, um, yeah, with that being said, um, I've now understood that I'm no longer, in a way, I am now gaining life, a home, a place to feel safe and secure. The more that I add and put into my home, it's like a way energetically and visually through my brain. It's like, wow, I have a dresser, I have a bookcase, I have this bed. I'm like now it's like I'm completing a feeling of safety and security. I still have to furnish it. I feel in a way I haven't furnished it because at a point I still felt afraid that if I put all the stuff in, it's not really going to be technically safe and secure. And in reality, I wasn't safe and secure in my own skin. Same thing with the expressions of my clothes and stuff, right? I feel starting to feel free and safely wearing women's clothing. I don't wear like anything too girly, but I have like a certain standard that I just like how their clothes are so free and expressive and they're flowy, very graceful, right? Um, I can wear guys' clothes, don't get me wrong, but I prefer to wear like women's jeans or like shirts that kind of got frills and stuff because that's just who I am. I'm in touch with my feminine side, but I also gotta acknowledge that I also have a masculine side too. So it's okay to wear both and not deny one or the other. Let's see where I'm at now in my journey. I started opening up this small business, this metaphysical store, right? I opened it up in 2022 of this year in January, online website, everything. Um, a part of me, in a way, doesn't want to continue going out on the streets on weekends and really getting nothing monetarily wise. I feel as though, I feel like there is an easier way to put myself out there, and I'm thinking about doing a newspaper ad. I feel as though I could do a newspaper ad for the time being, and I think I need to put posters. I want to get some Vistaprint posters, um, and do that, and kind of put them up on places where they designate posters and stuff. Um, I feel like that is necessary for me, and that is a good way for me to advertise myself. And that is one of the things that I think I should invest in, when I get paid. And I want to say that is more of an indulgence for now. It's something I can't really afford right now. So I'm probably gonna just put some money. I'm gonna put some money aside. That way I can kind of do it in December. So and I am also putting. I'm gonna be starting to put money aside. Starting at the end of this month when I get paid, like $100, just a couple hundred this month. Wait, well I do have those unexpected bills to pay. Like I got 100 for what the cover boards, and then there's also Jeanette, and there's some other bills I have to pay that I have to pay. So I might not be able to do it just yet, but definitely in December. I would, definitely will start somewhere. Even if it's $50, I know I'll just take out $50 and like, okay, that I can put that aside, right? So yeah. I was thinking about doing that. For the time being. Oh, and I was thinking maybe I should like get a small container, right? Get a small container that I can seal up pretty good, and maybe like dig a hole and put it inside the earth and just leave it there. Because I know if I kind of just forget about it, if I can forget about it, that I have money, I don't spend money. If I don't remember it's there, I don't remember it's there. So I'm thinking about hiding it somewhere and just forgetting about it, busying myself, you know. Um. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing. Just forget about it. It's there, whatever. Um. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about doing, and it's just to train my brain to forget about it. I've tried to open several bank accounts, but I just don't seem to be able to. And so I'm thinking about calling some people today to ask them if they put me on the blacklist, and if so, is there a way to remove someone from the blacklist so that way I can start saving money? Because I used to have a Space Ghost credit account, which I didn't have in good standings and stuff, but I used to get scammed a lot, and that fucked up my bank account. Um, so let's see. Oh, and that reminds me, I've been paying off this for this particular item that I have. No, it's okay. Um, I'm gonna put this out there. I don't know why people come on my channel, and I love you, Serenity of Soul. I love you, but um you're not the only one who does this, and they ask for a free rating when the title has nothing to do with a free rating. I love you, and I'm not mad at you. I'm just I'm just disappointed in you because again, the title has nothing to do with free ratings. You know, I will be on later to do free readings because it is Wednesday, but I'm not doing free readings right now. You're not the only one who does this. There are some other people that come in here and asking for readings. I get it. I'm usually doing free readings. I know I do free readings. I do, but also just pay attention to the title. I don't know if you guys skip over the title of the videos, but I want to say like pay attention, with the title because it'll say if I am doing free readings, it'll say free tarot readings or just tarot readings, right? Because you'll just be mindful that the description will tell you what kind of video this is. And you're not the only one I have to say it to, because I have several subscribers. I'm not mad. I'm just more of disappointed because it's like a lot of my subscribers tend to do that, and I get it. It's a habit. I do get why you asked that because I'm 9 times out of 10, I am doing readings. I am doing pick a card readings and stuff. So I get it. I get why you automatically say, "Oh, can I have a free reading?" I'm not mad at you in you personally. I'm just saying like it's frustrating and disappointing because it's like the video says something completely different than tarot reading. So just be sure to just look at the title before you ask, "Can I have a free reading?" Because it'll say free tarot readings or just tarot readings in general, unless I clarify and say donation-based tarot readings. And if it says tarot readings, double check and ask if these are free readings or donation-based readings, okay? Because I just want to clarify, in case, because sometimes I just say tarot readings and I could be doing donation-based instead of free. So just do that from now on. I love you. I'm not mad. I'm more of like disappointed and frustrated. Which, that's where patience comes in. I'm still learning patience. So I just wanted to say that I'm not doing free readings right now. I'm doing free readings later today, probably in the evening after I get back from the poetry night for Wednesday. So yeah. Let's see, where else am I going with this? So okay, where was I? So yeah, in my third cycle, or I'm in the second, third, fourth, fifth. I know that I'm transitioning from this fifth cycle into the sixth cycle. The sixth cycle is basically where I'm fully leaving. It's not that I guess in a way, I'm leaving a lot of the patterns, and I'm still like this. Feel like I can still do a little bit more of the cleanup on the sixth cycle. So I feel like the sixth cycle is going to be like that final rinse cycle for your washing machine. And that sounds weird, but like in the sixth cycle, I'm in this transitioning into the sixth cycle, and I feel like as I'm transitioning, I'm kind of going through and like, wow, I've really grown up. Really. In this cycle, the fifth cycle, and the sixth cycle, I feel as though I don't really doubt myself anymore. I feel like the confidence I can still work on. I still feel like I can do a little bit better on the confidence level and put myself out there. Like when it comes to crowds and stuff, I kind of talk like this and be like, "Oh, it was nothing." I can be more of like, "Oh, thank you." So I feel like I have to readjust the behavioral patterns. So that's something I'm going to be working on this now and then into next year. Working on putting myself out there and, being me, self-expressing me, all that good stuff. Let's see. Just trying to think. Trying to think. So, I know in the fifth cycle that like I said, I'm transitioning into the sixth cycle, but trying to think what else did I think I feel like I need to work on? Just the confidence in putting myself out there. I don't really feel like it's putting myself out there, but having the courage to put myself out there. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to be working on this for November, December, into next year. I'm going to work on advertising myself. Because in a way, I kind of restricted myself because I didn't have the confidence to put myself out there. Now it's the time to put myself out there. And I feel like physically, if I put myself in the paper, put myself in the out on posters, well, then I'm putting myself out there, right? So in a way, I'm having the courage, energetically, visual, but also physically acting. I'm putting myself out there. I'm having the courage and the confidence to put myself out there in the newspaper, and the courage and confidence to put myself out there with the flyers and the posters. But I'm also want to say I noticed that as I go out on the streets every day, I didn't realize this part, but I just realized it now in this moment that I actually have had courage and confidence to put myself out there this entire year. I went on the streets to do chair readings, and I realized that takes courage and that takes confidence to put myself out there to really believe in what it is I am doing, without a doubt. And even though I do ask for feedback, I say to myself, it's not because I'm looking for self assurance, for self validation, or anything like that. It's more like I want to see what other people feel so I can note that and be like, okay, this person and then this person are the same, so they might feel this, and this. It's more like doctor mode, right? It's not to do with any, and I put that out there, like it's not to have self-validation, it's not to have self-assurance, it's not to reinforce my confidence, it's not to reinforce my doubt or disbelief, or it's not to reinforce anything, but I want to see the feedback. I want to see how they feel, to see if I still need to work with them. That's what I put out there when I ask for feedback now. So yeah, I've taken a big step forward, and I think where I'm at now, while we're transitioning into the sixth cycle, it's more so of like like kind of brave, confidence, courage, strength. I feel like when I go through the next cycle, um, when I go through that next cycle after the sixth cycle to the seventh cycle, I know I can't see it, just I can feel it, not really envision it, but I can feel how in the seventh cycle I'll be really different, completely different, and I love it. It's beautiful, so I can feel it, and as I feel it, I can start to imagine myself that, wow, this is who I'm becoming. So yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think it's awesome. It's amazing. So this is where I'm at now, and this is what I'm coming into. And by the time I get to the seventh cycle, I'll be so different. I'll be so different. So I'm putting the intention that what I've learned and what I've discovered, what I've said today on YouTube and Facebook, I want you to know me, that and myself through time, space, quantum reality. I'm projecting this so that way that not in the future or in the past, but in the now, I'm saying solidifying that all the energy that I've just said that I release, I've come into full understanding of all the cycles that I've been through. I've come into those cycles. I've been through the cycles. I've went through this. I released them. Now I'm in the sixth cycle where I'm becoming more. I still feel in the sixth cycle. I could work on the confidence and the courage and being brave enough to put myself out there. And once I do that, it's gonna be a game changer. It's gonna be wow, right? It's gonna be pow. When the seventh cycles hits, I know for a fact it'll be a beautiful, I just can see it, and I'm gonna start doing it, As I put myself, I know that when I fully master the courage, the confidence, and the bravery, and in a way having the strength to put myself out there, which will also influence the belief. Like it's as I have the courage and the bravery, the strength, the courage, the confidence, and the belief that I'm putting myself out there, it's gonna come back, you know, because I believe in myself and I have the strength to now put myself out there bravely, courageously, and confidently. And when I fully master that in the sixth cycle, as I'm doing it right now, but I'm also in the sixth cycle, when I fully master that, that's when I know that all the abundance in the sixth, not that it's not coming in now, but I know that there's going to be a lot more abundance, a lot more success, a lot more prosperity and wealth. And but not just wealth in the monetary department, but the emotional, mental, and spiritual department, right? When that happens, and I know it's happening now, but it's also going to happen even more in the seventh cycle. And I feel like, and it just kind of brought something to my attention. And I was playing this Phoenix Rising game. It's some sort of hero thing that she reincarnates and goes back in time, whatever, right? I realized that they always talk about Matsfitzes or something. They go through the I think the Buddhists, the Hindus, the Asian people really understood the cycles, right? The spinning wheels were not just, and I know that we have the spinning wheels of energy, but there's more to it than that, the cycles, the seasons, it's reflected in the seasons, the weather, the flow of all that is. Like, we go through so many. I think it's important to really now get into the awareness of the cycles, to talk openly about the cycles we've gone through, and where we're at now, so that we can plan the next cycle. I've also now, just when I said this is the six cycles, the mastery of confidence, courage, bravery, strength, and belief. That is the cycle. I'm putting that into the cycle, right? And I put into the cycle, the sixth cycle, that I now gain. I don't lose anything. I'm now gaining anything and everything that I need, want, and desire. I now feel all the positive emotions such as love, happiness, joy, peace, serenity, harmony, tranquility, all the positive emotions on the other side of the spectrum, right? The positive side of the spectrum. I experience them, I express them, I reflect them. That's what this sixth cycle is about. Let's see, what else? I think these experiences and expression, I think only in love, happiness, joy, peace, and serenity. And I acknowledge that there is a negative, right? I feel like after I've done the positive part, the positive energy, the final stage will be the melding of both. That is the yin. I feel like that's like I've gone through the positive, now melding in the negative. The positive, go through the negative. And technically it's not negative. It's more of like I had to go through this to kind of push me forward to where I wanted to go. So it's like, it's neither negative, positive. So like, go through this, that, and boom, meld, and then evolution, right? So I feel like I'm coming into this. For a long time, I've noticed that I've been unsuccessful, unabundant, unprosperous, unwealthy, and poverty, poor, even homeless, right? Well, I had to go through those experiences and fully reflect those back inward and outward in order to now be like, I'm not poor anymore. I'm gaining the experiences of not being poor, not being in poverty, not being homeless, not being unwealthy. I'm gaining the experiences of being rich, wealthy, abundant, prosperous, successful, beautiful, bountiful. So I've been noticing this energy, and I set the intention that I'm putting, what I've discovered, of it's fully solidifying, integrating without resistance, and I'm choosing to step into the opposite spectrum of all these cycles, which is to gain anything and everything that I need, want, and desire. To now put myself having, and I know I have the confidence, the courage, and the strength, and the bravery, and the belief to put myself out there. Now I'm just solidifying, I'm strengthening that, solidifying that. Anyway, so that's where I'm at now, and what I'm gonna be focusing on. I feel as though that next year, I know it will have its ups and downs, but it's all part of me becoming more confident, courageous, brave, having the strength and the belief in myself. And to gain all this and more, to gain anything and everything that I've ever needed, wanted, and desired, and more. So, much love. I believe in every one of you on your journeys. I feel like it's important to kind of just do what I'm doing and kind of look at all the cycles, see where you're, and just really like, I feel like I'm now transitioning from the fifth into the sixth, is what I'm saying. Anyway, much love. I'll see you guys later today. Bye.